Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your probably first of the KASB updates for Thursday, April 8th. We're up to correct. We're all down at the Capitol. I'm going to be leaving shortly to present to our KASB roundtable this evening. Scott and Leah will finish out the evening. We think the legislature is coming back tomorrow, but a lot of action has happened, starting with a very close and to us disappointing vote on Senate Bill 175. This is the bill that now has basically the provisions from 2119, some modifications, the education funding provisions, the private school expansions, and the remote learning restrictions. Scott and Leah, you were watching and tweeting what happened in the House and what happens next.
Well, there was some pretty passionate discussion on the bill. One veteran legislator said that he was being told that if he voted against this bill, he was voting against kids, and he found that personally offensive. There was another legislator who made some pretty strong comments regarding discrimination against children of color and how they are treated in the public education system. So that was perhaps not the most uplifting moment of the debate, but Scott, I'll throw it to you for your comments.
Well, as Mark mentioned, it was a pretty close vote, 64 to 59, I believe, and it was pretty fiery debate, and it brings out a lot of passions in people. But the important thing to know is, even though it passed, and we expect it to pass in the Senate later today, but that 64-59 vote, if the governor were to veto that bill, that would not be enough to override a veto. Of course, if the governor vetoes the bill, then we have a new ball game, and then we start negotiating after that. So the governor's veto doesn't end all. It just starts another round of political brinksmanship, probably. So not the best result, but again, we're still, this still has a long way to go.
It does, and I think that is a testament to the amount of work that KASB members and our allies have put into this bill. It is a disappointing vote today, but it is, as Scott noted, it's a very close margin and not a veto override total. So it's sort of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back, maybe sort of situation, or one step back and a step forward. I don't know, but disappointing vote, but the vote margin is somewhat a positive note for those of us who've worked very hard on this bill.
That's right.
And I just want to add one more positive, is that the 59 votes opposed that's a bipartisan vote. A lot of Republicans were among those 59. I believe all the 64 votes for it were all Republicans. So our position is a bipartisan position in this effort.
Well, it is close. It is passionate. I actually talked to the chief sponsor of the bill, or the chair of the Education Committee, Representative Williams, afterward, and we kind of shared. I mean, the strong positions on both sides. Her only argument, I guess, in some ways, is make sure people really do understand what's in the bill, and that's true. There have been some changes, but fundamentally, our position still comes down to concern about not the same level of access for private schools. That creates kind of a different situation that we think in the long run can be harmful, and over restrictive policies on some remote learning. But as I said, I don't think any of this issue is finally over, but we don't know what the governor will do. And of course, we aren't for sure what the Senate will do, but you guys will be watching that. Going to quickly hit a couple of other bills that were happening today, and maybe of the next highest interest to our members is an agreement on House Bill 2039, a conference committee agreement. It has not yet been voted on. It will first go to the Senate, maybe here in about a half hour. Leah, you've been following those issues. This is the civics bill plus financial literacy. Where do we stand on that?
That's right, Mark. So the conference committee today met and accepted, well, I was going to say they accepted the House position, but there were a few tweaks. But the House requested that the bill also include the House version of personal financial literacy. That bill requires students to pass a course in personal financial literacy in order to graduate from high school, very similar to the civics test requirement that we have opposed. On the Senate side of the aisle, a few days ago, they also passed House Bill 2039. They had an amendment in there for personal financial literacy, but it was not a graduation requirement. It merely said that personal financial literacy in high schools has to be 2 quarters or 1 semester's worth of work. So the House said, you know, that's awfully close to our language that also requires a high school graduation component. And so the Senate did agree to that proposal. That is provided that some of the implementation is tweaked a little bit. So it will be, the bill will take, it will take effect for the 22-23 school years. I think I'm saying that right, but it won't impact anybody until the class of 23-24. The idea behind that is to, let some of the kids who are in their high school career right now and have their path already charted out as far as civics or really this personal financial literacy, which could be a math course, it might not be. That is proving to be problematic, I think, for some kids, particularly if they have to take some higher math courses in order to accomplish their post-secondary goals. So that amendment proposal was accepted by the House. So basically, the bill that we're looking at right now does require students to pass both a civics test and a personal financial literacy test in order to graduate from high school.
I think the key,
so obviously, we still oppose the bill.
The key, I think, there is that, I hope it's not too loud in here, is that there is now a bit of a phase-in period, which I think means there is an opportunity, I think, if schools can demonstrate, or we're finding that this doesn't work for students, they're losing opportunity. Right. There's time to come back and show that if need be. And of course, we don't know if the governor would sign this. This is another one that we might be waiting on. But nonetheless, this would be adding some additional specific requirements to graduation, good or bad. It'll have a big impact if it goes forward, but there is a longer phase in. I want to quickly mention a couple of other bills before we run out of time. The Senate today approved House Bill 2058, which is kind of dealing with concealed carry issues that would allow provisional licenses at age 18, but doesn't change where you can carry these weapons. The Senate also approved 2089, which allows districts to do firearm safety training, which you probably already could do, but says if you do, have to follow state standards, and it's kind of prescriptive on where those state standards would be developed. And the Senate adopted a conference committee report on 2066, which is sort of the expedited licensure bill. And the House approved their substitute for Senate Bill 91, which deals with liability, work-based learning liability. So most of those will still have to have a response from the other House, maybe conference committee, or agreeing to amendments sending to the governor. The last bill that we will be watching that we expect may come up tonight came up very quickly. The new number is Senate Bill 55, but it's basically what you would remember as Senate Bill 208, dealing with transgender athletes. Guys, we got about a minute and a half. Quickly, what's happening there? I may have thrown that too quickly, so I will answer my
I was going to defer to Scott on that one.
Sorry, the conference committee, basically, they're going through the procedural steps necessary to bring this to a final vote. So there is agreement among the Republican members of the conference committee, not the Democrats, that would sign that into law. That too, or not sign into law, pass that would also go to Governor Kelly. That could well be voted on tonight. So to quickly wrap up, that's where we stand here at about 4:30. I think Scott and Leah plan, if there's more developments tonight as we expect, to give you a further wrap up. I probably won't be part of it based on the time, and then we'll see what they're doing tomorrow. And with that, long day, running out of time. We'll hope to see you either later tonight or with whatever wrap ups we're doing tomorrow. Thank you all for watching.